the the message on my heart today, it's basically going off of what I spoke about the other day of how our enemy, how we don't understand who we're fighting, what we're getting involved in, or what we do. You see, this is why we must stay in prayer, Bible, and obedience. These three things, because you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. When you decide to totally make up your mind for the Lord, yes, you're going to get some pushback. It's going to be a battle. But remember, the Lord is the one who's fighting the fight for you. You just have to realize that. And this is why it always goes back. What I always say, read your word. You see, the more you get in your word, the more you're going to understand who's really fighting this fight. You're going to understand, but you have to receive it and believe it. See, this is the reason why the Christian keeps getting defeated. He's not, for one, we're not reading. I saw something the other day, and yes, it was a Bible, and it had dust all over it, and somebody wrote "read me" in it. And that was a picture, and I said, "Yep, I understand." You know how your car would get dirty, and people would write "wash me" on it. It was so dirty, it wasn't clean. The same thing about that Bible. It has so much dust on it. Somebody wrote "read me," meaning there's, like I said, every home has a Bible. Somewhere, I want to say. And then not only that, I remember homes had 3, 4, more than one Bible, but nobody read them. You see, so what's going on is the Lord has, I had to pray because the Lord is having me bring stories out that, like I said, I don't like to speak on certain things, but if the Lord tells me speak, I'll speak. And what He's showing is how the battle we're in is life or death. I mean, this is, like I said, this ain't no game, because the Lord showed me how, like I said, kids or whatever. This is why, as a Christian home, you are gonna have to lay down godly laws, and that's it. And I'm gonna show you what can happen, because these for one, it says raise a child in the way they should go, and they will not depart. Throughout the whole Bible, choose this day who you're gonna serve. As for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord. See, throughout the whole Bible, the Lord always says, hey, you need to understand, apply my laws in your house. But don't get me wrong, like I said, now that we're under this total freedom, like I said, I went through a lot of stuff with my own home, my own family, now the freedom we live of when you just totally follow the Lord, it's not like I said, the enemy makes you think that you're running all shivering and now you can't do nothing. No, the peace that we have now. I mean, like I said, the other day, my wife grabbed me and was just like, our old life, we never knew what was going to happen. I don't know. We didn't know if I was going to get arrested. We didn't know because like I said, I would go drink, spend money. I mean, our life was just totally chaos. And when you're totally submitted to the Lord, yeah, depending on how close you get with the Lord, yes, there's times, my home, she's worried about something, but it's not nothing like the way it was back then. I mean, it's a total it's total turnaround. You see? And so, yeah, there's times, but nothing. I say the Lord's going to carry us, and we're going to get through this. You see, when you got somebody in the home who's totally seeking the Lord, I mean, it's going to shine off. And not only that, they're going to come and get along, because what I mean is your family's going to get on board, because they're going to see the total change in you, and they're going to say, you know what? I remember how they used to be, and I want what they got now. See, so me just being calms a lot of stuff in the house, because now my wife says, well, if this man, says we're going to make it through this, you know what? Then I'm going to help him. And her mind changes, and then we start going together. Because before, back when I was drinking and going to jail, I used to say, well, whatever, if we lose it, we lose it. Or I'm going to go over here, the minute I get busted, they want the money. And that's what I mean. You got to understand is that when you live for the Lord, it's totally different. I mean, it's peace. You're under calm. When you totally really get surrendered and submitted and start obeying what He says to say, and doing what He says to do. And so this is what I'm saying. This is where the word comes in. But going off of what I was speaking on the other day, you need to be careful and understand what's going on with the kids. You need to realize, please, don't let them go places they're not supposed to be going. Because I'm going to show you true life testimonies of what I didn't want to speak on before. But I said, Lord, he said, bring it. Okay. I'm going to tell you 2 stories. And these are life and death situations. Okay. You got to understand, whatever you do, don't give up on the Lord. And don't let the enemy turn you back. Because I'm going to show you what can happen. Okay. Because I understand as you're walking and fighting this fight and you're moving forward, yeah, you're going to get pushed back. And there's sometimes, even the Bible says you get knocked down. It says a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. That's the whole thing. You got to keep reading. Gets back up. Keep going. See, what the enemy is trying to do, he's trying to bombard you so hard. He's trying to knock you out. He's trying to make it to where you finally say, you know what? I quit. I quit. Don't do it, because remember, you're not a quitter. We serve a Lord who's already won the victory. You just got to walk out and go claim that victory. But yes, you must do your own fight in prayer, Bible, and obedience. Your home is going to get in line. Understand me now, because the word of God says, and there's not one lie in the word of God. You see, so what's going on is when you get all that pushback, because I know what it is. Believe me, the calling on my life, it said too much is given, much is required. Well, I thank God, though. I know it's him who pushed me forward and carried me through, and he's going to carry you through. Don't give up. Because believe me, I'm going to tell you something right now. I was a man who would always quit. They would tell me I could do something, and this is why when the Lord called me and said, you're going to be, remind me of Gideon. What? He said, you're a warrior, you're a fighter. I'm going to use you to go fight. I said, I've never finished anything that I've ever started. I would say I'd start something, I'm going to do this, or I'll go work out, or I was going to become this, and I was going to become, and I would start it and then quit. I would do, unless it was bad. Now, when it came to bad, oh yeah, I went all the way with bad. But I mean, when the Lord said, I'm going to use you to go talk to people, I couldn't believe him, because I said, I ain't never finished anything that I've ever started. But when I let him get in my spirit, when I obeyed his voice and heard him instead of the devil, I said, that's it. I've made up my mind. I'm not going to quit. And I don't care what it costs. Because like I said, and I say it over and over, I paid the cost to go running with the devil. I said, Lord, I want to pay the cost 100 times more with you. I'm here. Now, I've made up my mind. Like I always tell you, make up your mind. Set your course and don't let anyone stop you, okay? Because your family's life depends on it. I'm going to show you some. Just like I was telling you, don't go drop your kids off some places. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, all this happened when I'm in school. I'm in high school. I'm a teenager. Okay, and understand now, I'm going to show you a story of all these people. Now, except one, I don't know if they were in Christian, but this first story I'm going to tell you, all Christianity. Okay, and this is also to understand, I was raised and born in the church. So let me get to you. Okay, when I was going to this church, there was a kid. We were little kids together. All right. I'm talking about 7. My daughter's 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. We ran around together. We went to children's church together. We were in Royal Rangers. They used to call us Broken Arrows, but it used to be called a Straight Arrow. But anyway, so we're kids raised in the church. I knew this boy. So here we go. Time goes on. Well, I'm going to tell you of this other family. They were in the church. And this other family was in the church, but they left the church. So you need to understand, whatever you do, don't get out of God. Stay in God, because it just opens seas. But don't. Living with the Lord is... Anyway, so this other family left. So I knew this kid also since we were kids. These are 2 different sets. So when we were kids, I knew this kid also, but I met him in like 3rd. So I don't know whatever how old you are in the 3rd grade. So we're over here with this family, backslid and got out of the church. This family over here I'm running with. This kid I know. So then they left, but they were with God. The Lord prospered a business for them, and that business went up and up and up, and it became a good business. Well, they left the Lord and just went on with their business, and I didn't know all this now. See, the Lord is bringing all this now. I'm fine, because like I said, when I was running with the enemy, I didn't care about the Lord. It didn't matter to me. See how the Lord brings stuff. Like I said, everything you see and everything you're around, everything you notice, when you're younger or whatever throughout your life, well, he brings it back. And now let me tell you the story. And it even dawned on me then, but watch. So this kid that I know over here, their family used to be in the church and then they got out and left. Okay, so when they got out and left, they went their way, and well, this family over here, one of their kids wound up passing, an older one. Well, my friend I'm running with, it was his older sibling now. So I'm running with him. We're going. As kids, this is the one that I was supposed to go to the party with, but the Lord saved me. I said another verse where I was supposed to get killed and things, you see. And this is also, I had no business going to that party also, but I didn't go. See, what happened was, as when he went to go get me, you understand, we just passed each other and he left. And I was going to go with him to this party. And like I'm telling you now you know my life, I would have wound up getting, a fight happened at that party. And let me go back to, so when we missed each other, he makes to the party. I was supposed to have gone with him. Like I said, back then, there wasn't cell phones. I couldn't call him, tell him to come back get me. This was early 90s. So he goes at that party. Well, at that party is when he winds up getting shot. And like, now you know me now, I showed you pictures. I would have been in there fighting with that. That's just the way I was since I was a kid. I would have jumped in front. They probably would have killed me, but the Lord, I didn't go. Well, mind you, now remember the story of the kid I went to church with years ago when we were little? Well, that kid I went to church with then was the one who shot and killed this other Christian kid that I knew. See, all this is the church here. See, you got to understand, all of us were in the church. And like I said, we're older now. When we were a kid, now I'm like 18 now when this happened, 17, 18. And like I said, the kid that I knew earlier was the one who shot and killed this other kid. Now, how time went on and the shooter came out, and I'm like, because I was mad. That was my friend. Like I said, I lived a different life and I was mad. And then when I found out who killed my friend, it was my other friend that we went, and all three of us were in church. You see, you got to understand. So this other family lost another child now. You see, the one who walked away from the church, and the shooter was a kid that I went to church with. We were children's church. That's what I said on another video. Is the enemies getting the church kids? You see, but what I understood and come to find out, these people didn't plant their flag and set a course, and because I knew the other family too. And this is what made up my mind. I'm gonna plant my flag, and I don't care what it costs me. You ain't gonna get my family, devil. You ain't gonna get my family. I'll lay down my life. I'm gonna fight, and I don't care what it costs me. You ain't gonna get my family. So, you see, I'm watching this. Everything that just happened in this story, all of us were Christians. We were raised in the church. You see, this is why that the enemy fools you, and you don't even realize who we're dealing with. He lullabies us, and this is how manipulative and nasty, and I can't stand the enemy of how he's willing to play with us. But I said he ain't gonna play with me no more. I made up my mind. He ain't gonna play with me. Okay, so, and it's not about being cocky or bold. No, you know who I'm bold in? You know who I stand in? My Jesus. I know who I serve. I know that my God is not some coward Howard hiding and trying to figure out what he's going to do. No, he walks out as a lion. He says, who can touch me? Who can stand against me? Who do I obey? Who must I bow down to? He goes, see, this is why I always say, you got to understand who you serve. This is why I walk out in boldness. I don't have to worry about the enemy. I don't, because I know who my God is. You see, the enemy worries about my God. My God don't worry about the enemy. He don't lose no sleep. The enemy loses sleep over my God. And that's your God. So you need to understand that this enemy's trying to kill you and your family. See, so this is this story. This story right here, we're all Christians. Okay. So now I'm going to go to this other one. And I'm going to give you this real quick. Do you know, I had asked, hey, I would tell people, hey, let me go tell your pastor, let me talk to your kids. And when they would see my testimony of the prison and the riots and the stuff I was involved in, do you know, I actually had one pastor tell this guy, said, hey, you know what, tell him, nah, it's all right. You know, that story's kind of like too hard. that our kids aren't you know, at that, you know, they're not messing up like that over here. Our youth group is not messing. And I was like, what? And I said, tell them, you know, but they didn't let me. But anyway, I told them to tell them, man, I was raised in church. Tell them, don't think, they all thought that I was just raised in the hood and I was just homeless. And no, I was raised in the church and this is what I became. That's why I was telling them, let me talk to his kids so I could tell them, you could be raised in the church and still wind up over here. But so anyway, so they blew me and said, nah, his story is too hardcore that he can't, don't come talk to our kids. And I was like, I was one of your kids at one time. But anyway, so I'm going to go to this other one. See, when you let your kids go to parties and when you let them go, that's one of them. That's why I said, see, there was kids, because I remember now growing up, I said, well, I'm not going to do nothing. I don't drink and I don't get involved in that foolishness. I'm just going just to go hang out with my friends and this and that. Well, I'm gonna show you this kid over here who winds up in this story. He wasn't in about that foolishness. He was just going to the party. Now, fast forward. Now I'm dropped out, but I'm still messing with high school. I'm still a teenager. I don't know. I'm 18, 19. I'm not sure, but I'm still in the teens. So fast forward. There's another party. This already happened when I was like 17. Now, forward a year or two later. Actually, it might have been even the next following year. Yeah, it was the next following year. So there's a party, and I'm not actually at that party. I'm at another room in this hotel. Next thing you know, there's a party. Well, it's a high school party. Somebody went and rented a room, and this is what I'm telling you: be careful where you let your kids go. You must just don't do it because it's an innocent kid who got hurt here. Let me show you. See, so. When you hear, oh, I'm not going to go drinking, your kids might not. They might not even be getting involved in anything. But you got to understand, these kids who go to these things, what I'm saying, the enemy is out to kill, steal, and destroy. He ain't, like I said, whoever he can get, he'll take. And so this party was a high school party. It was going on, and a fight breaks out at this party, right? Next thing you know, people scatter with somebody takes a gun to that party. Now I'm at this. See, these things I was supposed to be. And I'm here now. I'm at this one. I'm there. And next thing you know, the fight breaks out, and boom, I hear a gunshot. I take off running. Well, the fight is over here. The kid who got shot had nothing to do with that fight, and they kill him over there. The bullet goes over there and kills this kid. You see. I know about life and death. I'm speaking truth. The Lord is using everything that's happened in my life. I'm here. Wake up, wake up. I'm called to tell you, watch you and your family, because I've seen many things. This is why I've dug in and made up my mind that I don't care what it costs me. I'm going to dig in because I've seen the end results. I can imagine. And back then, it didn't. I was like, I took off running. The kid who got killed had nothing to do with the fight. Nothing. And now, back then, I was like, oh man, but now it really, that when I gave my heart to Christ, this situation really hit me of how, man, this kid, I feel so bad now of what happened. And I was like, Lord, please at least use these stories to save other kids. See, you got to understand. So when we say, oh, don't let your kids go over here. Oh, they're being legalistic, or you're being, no, I've seen parties, fights break out, stabbings, but these deaths. See, I went to, but even that was wrong because they could have wound up dying. Yeah, I've been a part of people got stabbed or fight or jumped and they wound up living. But I'm telling you, these death. I know these people, and this whole stories I knew them personally. I was involved with them. I was at one of the, you see, because I just went, I had nothing to do, didn't even know what was about to happen. And see, that's what I'm saying is you need to be careful where you send your family, what you have them involved in, what they're doing, because yes, it is life and death. The kid that got killed had nothing to do with the fight, but he was there at the party. You see, this is why when I became a youth pastor, I would tell kids, don't even go to the parties. They're like, well, we're not doing nothing. We're not getting involved. And I told them this story. I said, look, I was a kid like you at one time. And at the party, the kid that got killed had nothing to do with the fight. You see? But they were in that environment where they had no, don't go. They shouldn't have been there. You see? So understand now that when I tell these stories and what the Lord has me bring, I'm not trying to tell you what you can or legalistic. No, I know life and death. I seen it. Then when I went to the pen, I saw more things. Even before I went, I had friends die, other friends killing and dying, and other stories. But I'm telling you, these are all right here in the Christian. Now this other one, but the kids, some of the kids that are with me, we knew about the church. Now the one who wound up dying, I don't know. But I'm talking about, I'm from the church and I'm involved in this story. And some other guys that were there at that party, we knew about God. You see, that was my point. You see, so understand is that this devil ain't playing no games. It's life and death. And then when I went to the pen, I saw a lot of Christian kids, like I said in another video, the enemy's grabbing the Christian kid, either trying to kill him or lock us up and put us in jail. And that's why I said you must plant your flag. You must ground. You got to understand who our enemy is. This is why you must root yourself and say, you ain't getting my family.